I stared at my laptop screen in disbelief, watching the live stream of my sister Vanessa's business launch. There it was, my entire business plan, right down to the logo I'd sketched during countless late nights. The only difference? She'd changed the name from TechHealth Solutions to VitalTech Innovations. And that's why VitalTech will revolutionize remote patient monitoring, Vanessa announced confidently to the crowd, wearing the exact shade of blue I'd specifically chosen for brand trust. Any questions? My phone buzzed with a text from her. Thanks for leaving your business plan on the shared drive. Saved me months of work. 3 weeks ago, I'd caught her going through my files during a family dinner at our parents' house. I'd been suspicious when she'd volunteered to fix my laptop. Now I knew why. Julia. My assistant's voice snapped me back to reality. Mr. Harrison is ready for you. I closed the laptop and straightened my blazer, pushing down the anger threatening to overwhelm me. Walking into the conference room of Harrison Global Ventures, I reminded myself why I was here. Ms. Chen. Richard Harrison stood to greet me, his reputation for being the shrewdest venture capitalist in Silicon Valley evident in his calculating gaze. Your proposal intrigued me. Though I must admit, I just watched a very similar presentation. VitalTech. I smiled, setting down my briefcase. Yes, my sister is quite enterprising. He raised an eyebrow. You know about that? Mr. Harrison, what I'm about to show you isn't just a business plan. It's the complete blueprint, including 3 years of research, patent-pending technology, and most importantly, I pulled out a thick folder, proof that I developed this concept long before VitalTech existed. For the next hour, I walked him through everything, the original code I'd written, dated development logs, and emails with potential partners. But it was the last document that really caught his attention. This is interesting, he murmured, examining the paper. Your sister's company is using your proprietary algorithm. Without permission, I confirmed. She took the basic idea but missed crucial security protocols. If she launches with that code, patient data will be vulnerable. She doesn't understand the technology enough to know what she stole. Harrison leaned back, a slight smile playing at his lips. What exactly are you proposing, Ms. Chen? A partnership, I said firmly. But not just investment. I want Harrison Global Ventures to help me acquire VitalTech before it launches. A hostile takeover of your own sister's company? He looked amused. That's rather cold. No, I corrected him. It's business. And unlike my sister, I understand both the technology and the strategy needed to make it successful. He studied me for a long moment. You know she's presenting to our investment committee next month? I do, I smiled. And I'm counting on it. As I left Harrison's office, my phone buzzed again. A message from our mother. Vanessa told us about her amazing new company. Why didn't you ever do anything with that health tech idea you talked about? I didn't respond. Instead, I called my lawyer. Everything's ready, she confirmed. The cease and desist letter will hit her desk tomorrow morning. Perfect timing, I said, watching the sun set over the city. Right before she starts looking for series of funding. That night, I received an invitation to join the Harrison Global Ventures Investment Committee meeting, scheduled for the same day as Vanessa's presentation. The pieces were falling into place. My sister thought she'd stolen a $1 million idea. She had no idea she'd walked right into my trap. As I prepared for bed, one final text came through from Vanessa. Hey sis. You should come to my next investor meeting. You might learn something about turning ideas into reality. Winking face. Don't worry, I muttered, setting my alarm. I wouldn't miss it for the world. The next 2 weeks unfolded exactly as planned. Vanessa's initial confidence crumbled when the cease and desist letter arrived, followed by documentation of my patent applications and proprietary code registration. You're just jealous, she screamed over the phone. You sat on this idea for years. I'm actually making it happen. I let her rant, keeping my voice calm and professional. Did you even read the security protocols before copying the code? Do you understand what could happen if patient data gets breached? I have developers for that, she dismissed. Better ones than you. They've already modified everything. I muted my phone to hide my laugh. Her better developers had left digital fingerprints all over their work, amateur mistakes that proved they'd copied my original code. My laptop pinged with an email from Harrison. Your sister's team requested an emergency meeting tomorrow. Apparently, they're having minor technical issues. Should I move up our timeline? I replied, no. Let them squirm. Everything needs to happen during the investment committee meeting. The next morning, I arrived at my office to find our parents waiting. Julia, this has to stop, Mom pleaded. Vanessa worked so hard on this company. Why are you trying to ruin it? I pulled up the security footage from our parents' house, showing Vanessa copying files from my laptop. Worked hard at what? Stealing. Dad shook his head. She's just better at the business side. You're good with computers, but she knows how to make things happen. Really? I turned my monitor to show them VitalTech's plummeting stock value. Their code has critical security flaws. 3 major hospitals just pulled out of pilot programs. She's about to lose everything because she didn't understand what she stole. Then help her fix it. Mom insisted. That's what sisters do. I thought about all the times I'd helped Vanessa. Editing her college papers, debugging her website when she tried starting a fashion blog, even lending her money when her credit cards were maxed out. Each time she'd taken my help for granted. No, I said firmly. This time she learns the hard way. The day of the investment committee meeting arrived. I sat quietly at the end of the conference table, watching Vanessa stride in confidently with her PowerPoint presentation and rehearsed speech. She froze mid-step when she saw me. What is she doing here? She demanded, turning to Harrison. Miss Chin is our newest partner, Harrison smiled. She's leading our healthcare technology investments. Vanessa's face paled. That's a conflict of interest. She's trying to steal my company. Interesting choice of words, I said, opening my laptop. Shall we discuss intellectual property theft? For the next hour, I systematically dismantled everything. The flawed code. The security breaches. The pending lawsuits from hospitals. With each point, Vanessa's confident facade cracked further. But, she stammered, we fixed those issues. No, I corrected her. You patched them. The fundamental architecture is still compromised because you don't understand the technology. Want to see what happens when I do this? One keystroke and VitalTech's demo system crashed on the presentation screen. Harrison leaned forward. Ms. Williams, given these issues, we have concerns about investing in VitalTech. However, we have an alternative proposal. My sister's eyes darted between us. What proposal? I slid a document across the table. Full acquisition. Your company's assets and contracts will be absorbed into my new healthcare division at Harrison Global. You planned this, she whispered. All of it. No, I replied coolly. You planned it when you stole my work instead of asking for a partnership. I'm just better at executing. 6 months later, I sat in my new office at Harrison Healthcare Technologies, formerly VitalTech, reviewing the latest deployment numbers. Our patient monitoring system was now in over 200 hospitals, with a waiting list growing daily. A notification popped up on my screen, another article about the healthcare tech prodigy revolutionizing patient care. The irony wasn't lost on me. These were the same publications that had praised Vanessa's innovative vision half a year ago. My assistant knocked on the door. Your sister is here. Again. This was Vanessa's 3rd attempt to see me since the acquisition. The first time she'd tried threatening legal action. The second time she'd brought our parents to guilt me. This time she looked different, humbled almost. Julia, she said quietly, stepping into my office. We need to talk. I gestured to a chair, noting how she'd traded her designer suits for something more modest. About what? I got a job offer, she said, fidgeting with her sleeve. A junior position at Tech. They want me to lead their marketing team. And they called you for a reference. She looked up, meeting my eyes. Despite everything, you gave me a good one. Why? I turned my monitor to show her our company's latest project, a simplified version of our healthcare system designed for small clinics and developing countries. See that? I pointed to the project lead's name. That's going to help millions of people access healthcare. That's what this was always about. Not money, not success, helping people. I never understood that part, she admitted. I just saw dollar signs. I know. I pulled out a folder. That's why I'm giving you this. Inside was a proposal, a new division focusing on healthcare accessibility marketing, with a director position open. You want to hire me? She asked incredulously. After everything? No, I corrected her. I want to give you a chance to earn what you tried to steal. You're good at marketing, Vanessa. Really good. But you need to understand what you're marketing. She opened the proposal, her hands shaking slightly. Why now? Because 6 months ago you wouldn't have asked that question. You wouldn't have admitted what you did wrong. Sometimes people need to lose everything to learn anything. Our parents had been furious when VitalTech collapsed, but their anger had shifted when the truth came out. Dad had actually apologized last week, acknowledging that he'd always underestimated me. The position requires extensive training, I continued. You'll need to understand the technology, the healthcare industry, and most importantly, ethics. No shortcuts this time. Vanessa nodded slowly. And you'll be my boss. Yes. And the first time you try anything underhanded, you're out. No family favors. She sat quietly for a moment, then asked, that day in the investment meeting, you could have destroyed me completely. Why didn't you? I smiled, remembering Harrison asking me the same question. Because success isn't about destroying others. It's about building something meaningful. Standing up, I walked to the window overlooking the city. The question is, are you ready to build something real this time? Vanessa joined me at the window. I should have just asked to work with you in the first place, shouldn't I? Yes, I agreed. But then you wouldn't have learned the most important lesson. Which is that true innovation isn't about who gets there first. It's about who does it right. I handed her an employee badge. You start Monday. Don't make me regret this. As she left my office, I received a message from Harrison. Giving your sister another chance? That's either very wise or very foolish. I replied, sometimes the best revenge is giving someone the opportunity to face their own failures. Looking at the city skyline, I thought about how different things might have been if Vanessa had just asked to collaborate instead of steal. But then again, sometimes the longest roads lead to the best destinations. My phone buzzed, a text from Vanessa. Thank you for not giving up on me. This time I'll earn it. I smiled, setting my phone down. Sometimes the greatest victory isn't in winning the battle but in changing the game entirely. 1 year into our new arrangement, I sat reviewing Vanessa's latest project proposal. Her transformation had been remarkable, from stealing ideas to generating them. But today's meeting would test our fragile reconciliation. Your proposal to expand into preventive care monitoring, I started as Vanessa sat across from my desk. It's good. Really good. She beamed with pride, but I wasn't finished. It's also remarkably similar to a confidential project our R&D team has been developing. The color drained from her face. Julia, I swear I didn't dash. I held up my hand, then turned my screen to show her the security logs. I know. You didn't steal it this time. You actually came up with it independently. Your access records prove you never went near the R&D files. She let out a breath she'd been holding. You were testing me. I'm always testing you, I admitted. But today you passed. In fact, you did more than pass. Your approach to preventive care has elements our team hadn't considered. Opening my drawer, I pulled out 2 folders. That's why I'm giving you a choice. A choice. Folder 1. You take your proposal to another company. I'll give you my blessing and a glowing recommendation. You've earned the right to step out of my shadow. She eyed the second folder. And the other option? You become project co-lead with Dr. Martinez from R&D. Equal partnership, shared credit. But you'll still report to me. Vanessa picked up both folders, weighing them in her hands, literally and figuratively. A year ago, I would have taken the first option without hesitation. Tried to prove I could do it without you. And now. She set down the first folder and opened the second. Now I understand that working with you isn't a step down. It's a step forward. Just then my phone buzzed, a message from Harrison. Board meeting in 10. Bring your sister. Time to announce the expansion. I smiled. Good choice. Because that second folder also comes with this. I slid a business card across the desk. Her eyes widened as she read it. Vanessa Williams, Executive Vice President, Preventive Care Division. You planned this whole thing, she said, shaking her head. Again. Let's just say I learned to see potential in unexpected places. I stood up. Ready to face the board? She straightened her jacket, no longer wearing power suits to prove something, but dressed for the role she'd earned. ready to do it right this time. As we walked to the boardroom, she asked, "Do Mom and Dad know about your promotion?" "Not yet. I thought you might want to tell them yourself. Show them how far you've come." She stopped me before we entered the boardroom. "Talia, thank you. Not just for this, but for showing me what real success looks like." "Save the thanks," I smiled. "You've got a board to impress and a division to build. Think you can handle it?" Her answer wasn't the overconfident assurance of the past, but something more valuable: earned confidence. "Watch me." As we entered the boardroom, I realized that sometimes the best endings aren't about revenge or redemption, but about transformation. Vanessa hadn't just learned to respect my work, she'd learned to respect herself enough to do things the right way. And that was worth more than any stolen idea could ever be. 2 years to the day after the failed VitalTech launch, I stood beside Vanessa at the Global Healthcare Innovation Summit. We were both scheduled to speak, not as rivals, but as partners presenting our preventive care system that was revolutionizing early disease detection. "Nervous?" I asked, noticing her fidgeting with her presentation cards. "A little," she admitted. "Last time I was on a stage this big, I was presenting stolen work. Now it's all yours," I finished. "Our research team confirmed it. Your early detection algorithms are completely original." The audience was filled with the same investors and reporters who'd witnessed VitalTech's spectacular collapse. But today they'd see something different: genuine innovation born from hard work and collaboration. Our parents sat in the front row, finally understanding the difference between real success and shallow imitation. Dad had apologized properly last month, acknowledging how his favoritism had almost ruined both his daughters.